There we go. Was that the Open was on and yet we were on? That was kind of weird. Like the Open was going, but we weren't watching the Open. We were on.
Was it?
Marcel and I were both like looking down, and I'm looking up, and the words of the Open going on, but there was no video to it.
I was proud because I was getting the injury report off, trying to like hit send before they said Marcel Louis-Jacques. I think I got it right at the buzzer. So
okay, clutch.
I was not watching.
Clutch. You're a hell of a lot more clutch than the Heat were last night. So that's a good job by you, at least. How you doing?
Yeah.
How you feeling? You feeling good?
I'm good, man. Look, to commemorate the return to California, I've got the Mike Bibby John on still. This might be the last time I ever wear it because it feels like a training bra right now. I had it when I was in middle school, but you know, some things you can't throw away, bro. Some things you can't throw away. This was the first time.
That's when he was good. Yeah, that's when Bibby was a really good player in those days. You know, we have terrible Mike Bibby history here because he was part of the 2010 team, and it was like, okay, they have no pieces around these guys. You know, because everybody thinks that the quarterback can do it all by himself. You know, they don't need pieces. Just like they thought that the big three needed no help also. And then they found out, yeah, we need to go get like a Battier and a Ray Allen. And, you know, we need to add some pieces even around the big three. Because, you know, it's just the way it is. It's a team sport, even though we want to phrase it like one guy can do it all.
Yeah. Look, in basketball, I think one guy can carry you a lot further than one guy can carry you in football.
Oh, yeah.
But
you're not winning a title.
You're not probably the case in point, Allen Iverson, right? In what was it, 2001?
Right.
I mean, name me two players of value besides Iverson on that Sixers team. Eric Snow
and Mutombo.
Aaron McKee, Mutombo, the ghost of Mutombo.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Matt Geiger.
But see, that's the problem. The problem with that example, it's an aberration. It's not really an example because it's not common even to get there with one guy. It's not even common. Yep. And so that's the thing. It's not common. Well, you know, that rarely does happen. In college, one guy can carry you to a title.
Kemba.
Yeah, no, and Danny Manning, and it's happened before where guys can carry you. Glenn Rice had a couple of decent players around him, but he pretty much carried them.
Melo at Syracuse.
Melo also carried again. He might have had one or two guys that were decent, but he carried that entire team. You know, in college you can do it, but not in the NBA. By the way, no longer in college because there's no longer any stars anymore in college. So
yeah, college. It's hard to watch college basketball. It's hard to really get into it until
I can't
until the tournament. It just I don't feel like learning new rosters every year. There's 130 freaking teams, man. Like you really have to be into it to be into it. Like I used to like UCLA basketball back in the day with like Aaron Aflalo and Jordan Farmar, but I have not followed it closely since. And ASU basketball refuses to really hook me. So
yeah, no, it's all college. It's such a low level of basketball at this point to what I grew up with in the 80s and the 90s that it's just unwatchable to me. You know, I got spoiled, dude. I watched Michael Jordan for 3 years and Patrick Ewing for 3 and 4 years and Mutombo and Ronnie Cycli. And I watched UNLV and Duke go at it for 2 straight years with teams that were loaded with NBA players. And I watched an entirely different college basketball and the shit that's on now. And I'm sorry for the French, but I am not impressed by anything that goes on in college basketball at this point. To me, it's just a notch just above high school. And that's it, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So let's put a percentage on it now. From 1% to 100. What do you think about Teron Armstead actually giving it a go?
2 straight DMPs to start the week, but it almost doesn't really count with him because he doesn't necessarily practice anyways. Respectfully, of course. 100 being certainty. I can't go 100. I can't go 90. I can't go 80. I'd maybe give it a 60. Maybe a 60. Maybe even closer to 55. 55-45 to him playing. that is not what I think he should do. That's what I think he ends up trying to do. I don't think it's a good idea. I think you sit him this week. It sucks. It's gonna suck, man. It's gonna suck. Nick Bosa might live in that backfield, but the risk of him playing and fully tearing it, and then you lose him, there goes your Super Bowl run. That's not gonna happen anymore. Like, respectfully, that's not happening anymore. Unless you wait for Austin Jackson to maybe get healthy and you throw him at left tackle. You don't have a left tackle right now.
I don't even know how that guy gets healthy now, because if he re-aggravated the same high ankle sprain, that's not good, dude.
It was same ankle but different injury. I think that was
what they said.
That's what McDaniel said. So same ankle, different injury, which still isn't good. But
did he say that today?
He said that Monday.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he said that Monday. No. It was either Monday or Sunday.
Injury.
Yeah, it was either Sunday or Monday. One of those two. But I think you sit him. You eat it for a week. Bring him on the road trip. See if maybe he can tough it out against the Chargers. But it is not something. This isn't a must-win game right now. Like, I love what he said yesterday, calling it 117 of the season. It's just the 17th of the season, man. And look, when you look at the other games, the Bills can lose tonight. They can lose tonight.
Would be nice.
Be nice for Miami. It would make things a hell of a lot more interesting in the AFC East, because then the Patriots only a game or so behind.
I just don't see that Patriots offense having the success they need against that Buffalo defense. That's my only issue with it. I can see it being a game because the Patriot defense can play, and then Josh hasn't been sharp. But my problem is on the other side. I don't. That Patriot offense is not. It's after the running back. I don't fear anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, the running back's a pretty good player, but outside of that, I don't really fear their passing game at all, dude.
I don't either. I don't think it's likely that they win tonight. I'm saying, like, it's not a foregone conclusion that game is over. Like, anything can happen in this division. The Jets play the Vikings. The Jets could lose easily to the Vikings. Like, this isn't like this isn't a must win right now for you. The Chargers game is a little more important. It's a lot more important. Bills game is a hell of a lot more important, as are Patriots and Jets to end the season. So, like, you don't need to force it right now. Let him rest, because you need this guy. You don't have the playoffs locked up yet. Like, I think there's still, all I've seen covering the Dolphins are streaks. So, like, I'm very aware it's possible to go on a 5-game losing streak or whatever and knock you out of playoff contention. Like, it's within the realm of possibility. You don't have a locked-in playoff spot yet, but you are in a good enough position that you can plan for the playoffs. You have to plan for the future. So, I think sit him this week. Just eat it, man. Get the ball out fast against San Francisco, and live to fight another day. Look forward to Sunday night.
The only thing I would disagree with part of your statement there is the Dolphins are not a streaky team. You're making it sound like a streaky team.
I said all that I have covered from this team. I have covered a 7-game losing streak, then a 7-game winning streak, then a 3-game winning streak, then a 3-game losing streak, then a 5-game winning streak. Like, I'm not saying they're streaky, but that is all that I have covered. I am saying I am aware of the possibilities of streaks in the NFL, just to accentuate the fact that the playoffs are not a foregone conclusion right now.
I get it. It's just this team is completely different than the other teams. And the only reason they had a 3-game losing streak was because they were missing their quarterback. It's not because the other streaks you're talking about really had nothing to do really with injuries. They were either bad for a stretch or good for a stretch. And that's just the way it goes. The Dolphins have been good all throughout. Problem is they can't overcome the loss of their quarterback now. So here's the challenge now, the next big challenge, right? Because we've noticed that the guys that are irreplaceable are Tua and Teron Armstead. So now we're going to find out if you can win without Teron Armstead. By the way, didn't Teron Armstead miss another game? Was it during the Tua injury streak?
It was the Vikings game, I believe. Right. Yeah, so it was Vikings because he stayed in New York City to go see a specialist after the Jets game. That game was ugly, but they still – Skyler plays the full game. I think Skyler wins. If Skyler or Teddy played the full game, you know what I mean, then they win. Like if the guy who practiced and prepared all week as the starter played the full game, then they beat the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are very good.
No, me neither. I think the Vikings are all right. I just don't buy the quarterback in the key situations.
The Vikings are all right. I don't think the Vikings are better than the Dolphins. I guess what I'm trying to say. Like we are now in week. What are we in? 13.
Yes,
we're in week 13 now. It's fair to like the Dolphins are who they are at this point. Like we're very far into the season. I don't think that they're gonna fool anybody. I don't think they just fooled everybody for the first 3 months. Like I think that this is what they are. They're a high-powered offensive team. And you know what? Actually, because I think I still have the stat pulled up from the story I just wrote before I hopped on here. A lot has been said about their defense, right? Defense, they're average. They're not good. They give up this, that, and the third. I found an interesting stat today. The Dolphins have allowed the seventh fewest explosive plays on defense this year.
Yeah, but don't do that.
Not what we see.
No, I don't want you to do that because now we've got the people that are bashing Josh Boyer, and you're now giving them reasons to love Josh Boyer. I mean, you're coming in with common sense, Marcel. What is wrong with you?
Like that, it's interesting. It's interesting, right? You would think banged up secondary, no pass rush, like that's a recipe for disaster. But they didn't give up. They're not giving up explosive plays. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me try to sort by differential here. They got the 6th best explosive play differential in the NFL. Offense to defense. So like that's the kind of defense that you want. Like you can nickel and dime and give up yards as long as you lock up in the end zone or lock up in the red zone and take the ball away. Like that's what's made the Dolphins great on that side of the ball the past, let's call it 2 years, 3 years. They gave up plenty of yards.
Mm-hmm.
But you lock in the red zone and you take the ball away, and all of a sudden those yards look real empty.
I'm with you.
That's what they gotta get back to here. Is like they need those turnovers. They need those turnovers, and they had them 2, 3 against Houston.
Mm-hmm.
They've just gone too many stretches without taking the ball away, and that's where the underbelly of their defensive strategy kind of starts to show a bit. But man, I like we said after the game, the Bradley Chubb experiment is really starting to churn. It's really starting to click. And
that's an elite pass rusher, bro. That's an elite pass rusher. That's why.
Game 4. This is game 4. He's been here a month. Should be comfortable enough. I think there's a chance of really seeing something special from him in San Francisco, or should I say Santa Clara, come Sunday.
Right. I'm with you. And Sean, I'm now thinking I should sign with the Dolphins and play left tackle. I could do this. You know why? Listen, I was the left tackle for Tua for a couple of years now. I pancaked every son of a bitch out there. Now I'm right. For a couple of years, I've been left tackling for Chris Greer. I'm pancaking fools left and right. Now they know that he's the shit. And now this year, I've been left tackling for Josh Boyer all year because I got people coming at me telling me, oh, he's terrible, fire him. And I'm like, yo, dude, you want to go after Crossman? I'm fine. You better leave Boyer alone. He's done a terrific job this year. He has lost practically 60% of his secondary, and his other corners play with 1 or 2 growing injuries. The only guy that's healthy is Javon Holland, and somehow or another, he's keeping all this thing afloat. So I got to tell you something. I don't think there's a tackle in town that pancakes more people than I do. So I'm ready.
Yeah, Holland really might be the only healthy member of the secondary. I mean, Kohu played in a cast last game, so like he's in a cast. X is dealing with groin injuries. Like,
is it the hand that he holds the lightsaber with?
No, I have no confirmation on whether it is his lightsaber hand.
It's important, bro. It's important because if the Imperial Starship shows up and we've got to fight him, we need Darth Vader ready for this, bro. Okay? So,
But it is. I think it's a thumb thing. That's what he's. I mean, he's listed on the injury report, full participant today, but does have that thumb designation. That's where the cast is. That's where the cast is holding in place.
have you seen the Darth Cater poster?
I have not.
Really? Do you have it there, Sean? The Darth Cater poster? Can you show it to him? I got one coming. We're gonna put it in the studio. It is freaking awesome. You're a Star Wars geek like I am, aren't you? Aren't you a young Star Wars geek?
I was literally just watching Andor today, trying to finish up season 1.
I haven't started yet. I have to watch it. Is it good?
It's very good. Yeah? I've been pleasantly surprised with by how good this Star Wars content has been without Jedi and lightsaber battles involved. Like The Mandalorian has, I think, one lightsaber scene. I'm not going to say which one, just in case you haven't seen it, because it's an awesome scene. It's got one lightsaber scene. Mandalorian is like the best Star Wars show out there. Bad Batch is good. Clone Wars is Jedi heavy, but I haven't finished Boba Fett, but what I've seen is good. Andor's been good. Rogue One might be the best. Yeah. Rogue One might be the best Star Wars movie, period. And that has one.
It's fun.
Arguably sick, but one lightsaber scene in it. So I am happy with what they did, because I was skeptical. It was like, Star Wars. Like I'm trying to see all that, but okay. I kind of expected like him in the Darth Vader suit.
Well, he's there in the background, but you gotta, but he's there. You gotta look close. But he's there. They got him there. See him in the back on the right side. He's turned around and says Kohu. You see his helmet on the right side. You don't see it there?
No, I see both of them. Okay. I'm saying, like, I kind of expected him, like, his head on Darth Vader's body. That would have sold it. Yeah. Or like in a Black Dolphins gear with the teal lightsaber or the orange lightsaber. I don't know, man. I'm not in graphic design. But
I think we got him to battle, because he's our Cater, so we're out to battle and take down Darth. So we need Cater to take down Darth, because that's just the way it goes. So that's kind of what it is, So we wait for the big lightsaber fight between Kohu and Darth, and then there will be only one Vader left, and we know it's going to be Kohu, of course, because he's got the skill set. So let me ask you, what are you doing if he does not play? How do you handle the offensive line this week? What would be the plan? You and I know you'll never guess what the hell McDaniel's going to do anyway. So let me just help you be wrong, because that's what we all are every time we try to guess what McDaniel's going to do. So you try to guess what he's actually going to do.
I mean, I think your hands are kind of tied there. You go Little at left tackle, Shell at right tackle, Kendall Lamb as the swing, your first man in if one of them gets hurt.
Not Keon? Not Keon? Because Keon's gotten activated a couple
times. They just signed Kendall Lamb more or less for this kind of opportunity. It's not an awesome outlook, I would say. Like, respectfully, it's not your ideal outlook. It's not your best 5 by any means, but that's kind of, again, your hands are tied. That's what your roster is. You can hope to have a good backup tackle. You can have a decent backup swing tackle, but you're never going to be fully comfortable with who you're putting in replacement of your starting left tackle. Like, you're not. I think they were blessed with Brandon Shell's play over the past month or so. Kind of finding him off the street essentially and plug him in the right tackle. It's rare. That kind of transition, that kind of seamlessness is rare. But I think just you put Greg Little in, you put Shell in, you grab Greg Little by the helmet and say, just stay in front. Just stay in front of him. Just stay in front of him. Tua's going to get the ball out fast. Just stay in front of Nick. 97. Find him.
You make it sound like it's really easy.
It's not at all, but just please, just for a second, just for a second and a half, just do your best. Do your best, and we'll scheme around it. We'll scheme around it from there. Maybe keep Ingold in, so we see a little less, 11 personnel with 3 out, 3 wide out. Maybe keep Ingold in there just to shade protection over to Bosa's side. but put Durham Smythe over there. Just do whatever you can to make sure 97 is accounted for at all times. Like how teams need to know where 10 is, how defenses need to know where 10 is.
Mm-hmm.
Is this offense needs to know where 97 is. That man is a monster. That man is a monster, dude. Tua went, with the exception of the second half last week, he ain't had to wash his jersey, since with the Steelers game. Like, it's been that clean. You can just spray Febreze on it and keep it pushing. That thing's gonna get a little dirty. It's gonna get a little dirty on Sunday, man. Respectfully, it ain't really a whole lot. He's one of those guys. There's not really a lot that you could do about it. Nick Bosa is gonna get his licks. You're not gonna shut him out an entire game without Teron Armstead. If Armstead was there, I've seen what he did with Myles Garrett. I would be confident. Okay, Nick Bosa might actually be neutralized here a little bit, but it's gonna be a battle. That's gonna be something to really watch for, and it's really gonna impact. It's gonna impact how routes develop and what Mike's play calling, what his play calling is. Thankfully for Dolphins and the Dolphins fans, he literally just came from this team. It's the same defense, the same defensive scheme, same players, same coordinator. He should know how to counteract it. If anybody on this planet knows how to counter their defense, it'll be Miami. And I think, you watch a little bit of what Mahomes and the Chiefs were able to do. You've got similar weapons. You've got a passing offense capable of doing what KC did to San Francisco. The blueprint is there. The blueprint is there.
Any key injuries for San Francisco?
I believe Armstead. McCaffrey had some knee discomfort, or I forget what exactly they called it yesterday. I'm not entirely sure. McCaffrey is one to really watch for. I believe Elijah Campbell is hurt as well. If McCaffrey for some reason can't play, that would be incredibly ironic, right? Since they just traded their backup to Jeff Wilson, who was unhappy when they decided to trade for McCaffrey in the first place. So these are things to watch for. I'm keeping an eye on my Niners counterpart at ESPN, Nick Wagner. If you don't have tweet notifications on for him, I would do so. And try to stay.
I'm shocked. Christian McCaffrey's injured? Guy's never injured. I mean, he's always ready to play.
He was perfect. He was of perfect health until he wasn't.
Yeah, until he plays.
He was of perfect health until he was. I remember, when I covered the Panthers, I had an entire story on it. Because people were so concerned about his usage because of his snap count, and I compared his snap count to his actual usage count. And North Turner was brilliant in that last year of Cam being even remotely effective as a quarterback. They just had McCaffrey on the field. It was just a decoy because his usage was below guys like Todd Gurley, who was nice that year. Todd Gurley and Alvin Kamara and Chubb, like all of these, premier running backs in the NFL, Saquon. But his snap count was extremely high because they had nobody else on that side of the ball to spell with him. So, I think that C.J. Anderson or something like that. So, I ever since then, but after that season, he had his 1,000 in 2019, and then his usage has just been through the roof ever since. And they're beating him Carolina beat him into the dirt a little bit there. But that's the beauty of the Niners offense is they don't have to give it to him 20 times a game. He's a very expensive player to not touch the ball 20 times a game. Don't get me wrong, but you've got McCaffrey, you've got Elijah Mitchell when he's healthy. You've got Deebo Samuel, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got George Kittle. I mean, there's so many weapons to spread the ball around to that you would be doing McCaffrey a disservice by, force feeding him.
Yeah, no, but I still think they gave up way too much for a guy that's that injury prone. That would be a guy that would scare me to give up that many picks for a running back too. On top of all of that, that's one position where you're not going to be able to avoid contact. I mean, it's just impossible to avoid contact, and unless you're Warwick Dunn or Barry Sanders, that you have that gift that you can spin and avoid, killer shots.
Second, third, and fourth round picks in 2023, and a fifth round pick in 2024. And I'm guessing they got to pick back for it too, right?
I don't even know if they got to pick back, but it's a lot of picks they gave up for that dude. And I'm sure they're gonna have to. I don't know if it is it. Does he have a current contract or does he need a new one? Is that coming up? I'm not sure.
No, he's signed. A matter of fact, I think his big money is just kicking in either this year or last.
All right. Well, they didn't pay the signing bonus then. Carolina did, so they got a break there because, as you know, that always comes at the beginning. And so if Carolina signed them to that deal, at least they got the burden off of the. So they're only paying salary. They're not paying any of the bonuses. That was already up front. So that's good.
Yeah, it looks like it was just McCaffrey.
Wow.
That's a lot. Remarkably, I've clicked on 4 links, after just Googling McCaffrey trade, and none of them have the full damn terms of it. But it looks like it was just picks. It looks like it was just McCaffrey in exchange for picks.
What's your prediction? What happens?
It's tough, man. I have a policy to never pick against the team I cover, just because it's not worth the vitriol if I pick against them and I'm wrong, and I'm not going to feel bad if I pick them to win and I'm wrong. I think it's obviously Miami's toughest test of the season. I think there's a path to victory. I think that odds makers giving San Francisco a 4-point, making them 3.5, 4-point favorites at home. They're essentially calling this game a push. It's going to come down to little things: turning the ball over, field position, efficiency on third down. But it's going to be a fight. If they win this one, I will not, leave my coworkers alone. I'll say that, the ones that don't necessarily deserve it. Leave my coworkers alone, but I will sit back and watch y'all talk your shit for a week if they go into San Francisco and they beat this Niners team, particularly if they look dominant doing it. So I think if
they win, they should be entitled to talk all the shit they want to talk.
Yeah, basically. Like, this is not giving y'all a damn pass from my mind to a pass from me to go at my coworkers, but like, I will understand the beating your chest if the Dolphins go into San Francisco and win this game. Like, this is the one. There's no, but Jordan Poyer, didn't play. There's it was the Lions. There's no, it was the Bears. It's the Steelers offense. Oh my God, the Browns are bad. Okay, you beat the Texans. What the hell are you gonna say if Miami beats the Niners? What can you say? This is one of the best teams on either side of the ball.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, this was you want to win. You want a win where people have no comeback. They have no comeback. Is this one right here?
Is their secondary the weakness on the defense?
Miami's?
No, San Fran's.
I mean, maybe by default, but that Ofunga kid there's Tua called him similar to Troy Polamalu, and considering their culture, I think that might be a bigger compliment than we are making it, an even bigger compliment than we're making it right now.
Is he the entire secondary? Can you attack those corners?
I think you can attack the corners, but I think you can attack the corners, but I think so much of what Miami does on offense is rhythm and timing based. And stay with me, comments. It's rhythm and timing based. You still need to be sharp, and you still need to be able to anticipate, like Tua does, those throws we were talking about on Sunday, where his back is to the defense. And he turns around and within half a second knows exactly where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of throws that against an instinctual safety like Ofunga, he might get himself in trouble. He might get himself in trouble once, at least once. So I think it's going to be like, that's a guy you have to be aware of where he's at on all sides, like at all times, because he's somebody who, it might be hard to look off. or he's going to play. If he notices Tua looking left, he's going to look right and make sure, okay, who's coming, who's crossing on this side of the field. Let me cheat over so that when he tries to snap back to the other side of the field after thinking he's looked us off, I'm going to be there to make a play. So like he's not a guy that you mess around with, man. This Sofunga kid. He's athletic. He's fast. I think he's topped out at 22, 23 miles per hour. Not 23, 22 miles per hour as a ball carrier. So like just that's where I'm looking in the secondary. Raging Dolphins says they haven't played a team like us yet. They kind of have.
Yeah, they lost to Kansas City.
Yeah. They just it didn't end well for them. But they have. Yeah. They got whooped on by Kansas City.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. I think that's the one area that if they can just give the kid 2.5 seconds, I think they're going to have their chance to make plays against us, because you can't stay with Waddle and Tyreek. They're going to find a hole in the defense one way or another. So I think that will be the key in this entire game, is getting rid of the ball quickly and using those two monsters to actually, really find holes in the defense and keep moving the chains. I think you'll be all right. You can at least compete that way. That's the way I see it. What are you working on ESPN so Dolphin fans can check you out, Marcel Louis-Jacques?
So 2 things here. One, what I'm working on, just filed today, my Nick Wagner and myself, instead of focusing on the McDaniels returning to the 49ers, we're focusing on how these teams have beaten their opponents. Like they uses power on offense, one uses speed and finesse, but they've both been elite in doing so. And so like it's a 2-angle story from both sides, kind of explaining like how they got here, how they assembled the team, and a couple of points, a couple of little stats, little interesting notes about what makes them special. I think it's a cool angle. I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out, either tomorrow or Saturday, but I'll share it whenever it does drop. And also, we didn't talk about it today, but it is projected to be rainy. It's not going to be freezing like it was in Tennessee, but it's a big opportunity for Tua.
Oh, God.
To shut some people up. Once again, it's the shut up tour. Everybody says you can't throw in the cold. He can't throw in the rain.
Yeah,
my bold prediction of the week. I'm finishing.
That's just another stupid
statement by people. My prediction of the week, bold prediction of the week, was that he silences the rainy day critics and becomes the second quarterback this season to throw for 300 against this Niners defense. Again, I think it's a big it's an opportunity for him, whether it's legit or not. It's about taking ammo out of the other guy's gun. This is an opportunity to take the bullet out.
I've never seen a quarterback that's this good with that many holes. He's too short. He's got a noodle arm. He doesn't work hard. He plays too much golf. He can't handle tough coaching. He can't play in the snow. He can't play in the rain. I don't know what else. I'm trying to think of some of the other stupid ass shit that's been said about this kid. I just don't understand any of this. I really don't understand any of this. And it's just because of the Titans game. And in the Titans game, that game was a mess. And it was poorly called and everything. Duke actually has like 60 yards or 50-something yards in the first half, and they decide not to run anymore in the second half. Meanwhile, Tannehill, who doesn't have a tenth of the ability that Tua has to throw the ball, they're running the hell out of the ball because they understand what they have. And yet Miami is on the road, and you actually have some running game, and you then abandon it in the second half. It's just...
we know context because we watch the games. Everybody in the comments, well, some people, I don't know about this Robert Holiday guy, but a lot of people watch the games and they understand context. Nationally, a lot of people don't. So they see that Tennessee game. They see it was cold, it was rainy, he was bad. That's my opinion. He can't do it. And to their credit, Tua did even admit this offseason, like that was something he wanted to do. Was go out and find cold weather, find rainy weather, and practice.
As I've been telling you guys, he listens. He listens. That's why he plays like a maniac, because they tell him that he's not tough enough. And so then he'll take on a tackler. And that's why he'll hold on to the damn ball, because they keep telling him that he can't win and he can't do this and he can't do that. And it gets into his effing mind. And then he starts going against the grain for the hell of it, even putting his body at risk at times. Why? Because he really listens. That's why.
This is just, we're playing devil's advocate here. We're just playing devil's advocate. But that Tennessee game was poorly called. It was poorly called. It made zero sense. It made zero sense. But also they fell behind, and they were not a team built to come back from a 1-score lead. Nevertheless, a 30-point lead or 30-point deficit. But it's just like I said, it is another opportunity to say, oh, Tua can't throw the deep ball. Well, he's been the most efficient deep ball passer and a frequent deep ball passer this year. Tua can't support an offense with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. They're about to have 2,000-yard receivers probably after this game. I think Jalen needs 70-something yards to get there. Somebody quickly Google receiving leaders for me while I'm on this rant and confirm it in the comments if you can. They're about to support 2,000-yard receivers just like that. Tua can't throw on the rain. Well, it might rain here. It might rain here. Here's an easy opportunity for him to say, well, next critique.
He might have. He's going to have two 1,500-yard receivers.
How many games are left? 6.
Two 1,500-yard receivers.
It's not impossible.
I know it's not.
It's not impossible. That's the fun thing about having Waddle and Hill is they're two guys who can go off for 170, 180 any given week. So I mean, all it takes is one of those, and you're right on path for that. But that's just again, it's taking another bullet out of the gun.
So 30-something yards for Waddle to get to 1,000, and Tyreek's over 1,200 already.
Yeah. Oh, it's only 30. He might get that in one catch. So he might get that in one catch. So they're about to have 2,000-yard receivers in this offense that people said Tyreek Hill couldn't be supported in. Right. So like again, if you are watching, if you're paying attention to the Dolphins, if you watch the Dolphins and you know what they're saying and they know what they do and how they practice and this, that, and the third, then none of this is really surprising. No. It's about letting other people know, right? If that's what y'all have been doing for the past however many weeks, right? Like we're just reminding people this is what y'all got wrong. This is what y'all are wrong about. This is what y'all don't know. Well, this is another opportunity to show people what they don't know. Which,
by the way, you got an article now. You got to write an article now. You got to write this article now. I don't think in the NFL there's been two 1,500-yard receivers. Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle have a shot to do something that's never been done in the NFL. Two 1,500-yard receivers.
I would guess.
No.
I would guess. Yes, Robert, I'm a sensitive young guy who is better and richer than you. So keep condescending, but like you're gonna be mad in the comments, and I'm gonna keep out earning you. Either way.
What are you doing? What are you talking about?
This Robert sensitive guy, Dolphins hate it. Like it catches my attention and makes me roll my eyes. But
okay.
No, if I had to guess, I would say Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. Maybe
they didn't get 1,500 each.
Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, or maybe Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne.
Morris and Reggie Wayne didn't have it. Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt didn't have it. John Stallworth and Lynn Swan didn't have it. Duper and Clayton didn't have it.
I'm not surprised there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been all kinds of stuff, man. I mean, there's been all kinds of pairs. I don't think anybody's ever had a pair that has, Rice and Taylor. They didn't go 1,500 each. I'm sure of that. What do you got for me? The
Cardinals had 3 1,000-yard receivers in 2008.
I remember that. The white kid was the third one, right?
No, it was Breston, Bolden, and Fitz.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was that guy that's been there forever. What was his name? He left before 2008. It was before.
I
forgot that kid's name, but yeah, okay. They had 3 1,000.
Yeah,
That's
1,500.
I think that's been close to have done, maybe a couple times. The 3 1,000s, because you've had like guys that have been, a nice rotation, but 2 1,500s. There you go. There you go.
Is he on pace? Let me pull up reference here.
No, there's no way. You won't find it. I'm pretty sure, just going off my memory of history and watching all those teams that you talked about, I'm pretty sure that both of the receivers weren't at over 1,500 yards. I'm pretty sure of that. Like 99.9% that I'm sure of it. There's a very.
It's like Waddle is just under pace.
I know.
Just under the pace at 1488. But
it could happen.
It's close.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, doggy dog. And be safe in your travels. Enjoy the West Coast, since you'll be out by your old stomping grounds. And we shall talk to you on Sunday.
Only regret is that I can't go catch a Kings game, but I will catch up with y'all on Sunday. Robert, I'm sorry for yelling at you, bro. You got on my nerves. It happens.
You're in San Francisco. Why do you want to go to Sacramento? What's wrong with you?
That's where I'm from.
Come on. What, you got a cowbell or something? You need to go hit or something? What's wrong? Come on. Why do you want to go see the Queens, as Shaq would say? Come on. Sleep Train Arena. What kind of a name is that?
Golden One Center, like the beam.
By the way, it does look nice from the camera angles. I haven't been to the arena, actually. It's nice, actually. It's really nice because it looks great from the TV angles. Like, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's a look. I remember the rumors, the moves to Seattle and Virginia Beach and Anaheim and all this shit. So like, it means a lot that the stadium was even built. I went and drove by it 2 years ago. It was the last time I was in Sacramento. Obviously couldn't catch a game. It was like July, but just seeing it, man, almost brought a tear to my eye. It was sick. But yeah, that's go Kings. Robert Halladay. Sorry, you got on my nerves. Perfect cue. Journalists do not get paid a lot of money. I am in a wonderful and blessed position, but I very much made $29,000 my first 3 years of my career. Like, this is it's not a career you get into for the money.
No.
It's not a career you get into for the money.
No.
I worked my ass off to get where I am here.
Yep. I agree with that. We definitely aren't doing this for the money. That's for damn sure. There's a lot of passion behind it. Marcel, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ and catch his work there at ESPN. We shall talk to you in the post-game show, my friend. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Be safe. There you go. By the way, 78 calories, delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. I can't tell you enough about the zero aftertaste. I can't tell you enough how delicious it is. And that's what you don't get with a lot of sports drinks. Well, you get it with Edge. Go to myedgedrink.com. You can't buy it in a store. You got to go to myedgedrink.com, order it to your home, your office, and you will get 10% off. Use our code BIG-O. And by the way, as an elixir, mix it with a little Grey Goose or whatever your favorite vodka is, on a Tito's or whatever. Trust me, you will love it. Okay? You are going to freak out when you try that. myedgedrink.com, the finest energy drink on the planet. Once you try this, you will never want another different energy drink again. myedgedrink.com, use our code BIG-O and get 10% off.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.